All right, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday and welcome to another Broadcast 365 session with us today, where we aim to bring hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world. My name is Takira Swan. I'll be your host today, filling in for Miss Portia Wheatley, who is the founder and president and CEO of Trophy of Life, which is a nonprofit organization which Project 365 is under. Let me bring in my guest co-host for this week.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We made it to another Friday. My name is Selenia Arce, and as always, I'm just so grateful to be here and to enjoy another dynamic guest that we have for you today.
Yes, dynamic is such a great word to describe our guest today. I'm excited to bring on our guest, Miss Valerie Rich, because she is a dynamic and creative and wonderful woman who expresses her life through artwork. And that's so important. And Selene and I are both creatives and we love to paint and do creative and crafty things. So we're so excited to get to talk to you today. How you doing, Miss Val?
I'm doing great.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you express yourself through artwork.
Okay, well, I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna get this together. Okay, so I express myself through art. It's kind of healing for me. It relieves my stress. It's just a good place for me to be, and it makes me happy. It's my happy place, and I do it often.
Awesome. So let me ask you, so what inspired you to start painting and expressing yourself this way?
Okay, well, I was inspired by my cousin. She was taking a training in intentional creativity. And in intentional creativity, you kind of work with, your trauma, your past trauma and things like that, but you create it into artwork. And we started out doing a 30-day gratitude journal. So it was a piece of art every day for 30 days. And that's when I got hooked on art because I was doing it, regularly every day.
So what are some of the emotions that you use to paint and to put into your art?
Sometimes I create when I'm sad, I create when I'm happy. I do different classes with different people. They give you prompts. You can use prompts to create around that. I also took a class, it was a year-long class called Life Book. And in Life Book, they dealt with they addressed your past trauma and your negative thoughts. And then we created that art from that. And I have like an example of that. We did like an art piece. It was called Healing the Inner Critic. And for that, we did like the first was the negative thoughts that you had. And then on top of that, you did the positive solution to those negative thoughts. And then you did the artwork on top of that.
That's beautiful.
So it was a lot of that. And that was very helpful in, just relieving stress and just being therapeutic for me.
Awesome. So you talked about, relieving stress and things being therapeutic for you. I think that's so important, especially in the times that we're in, especially with the pandemic that's been going on and people being quarantined for basically an entire year. How do you feel that expressing yourself through painting has helped healing therapeutic sessions for your journey? Can you explain a little bit more about how that's helped you get to that therapeutic space?
It just helped me because like when you're shut off from other people, you can't be social. You can still create stuff. You can share that with other people. You can get them involved in being creative too. You can host stuff via Zoom, but for me, just being creative on my own and sharing that with other people through Facebook and seeing them being inspired by the work I did and wanting to be creative on their own just was, it was a good thing for me.
And just one more thing with that little part two with that question. Can you explain to me what your definition of like soul work is and how, art helps you to do that.
Okay, soul work is when you working from like I've done some classes where they gave you like a visioning or they kind of like told a story and kind of like walked you on a journey to a solution. And then you would come back to your artwork and create from that story that they told, which was always kind of like wrapped up in, your soul, your visioning. I also consider soul work. I did like some memorial pieces when my sister passed, and this was kind of like a piece of artwork where it was kind of like sitting with her because it was created around her and created around the things that she had taught me and the wisdom that she had left behind, and it just gave me a piece of moving forward after her death, um, to get to a better place. So art has always been like a stepping stone to somewhere else.
What advice would you have for someone who either maybe they already do art, but they've never considered using it as a therapeutic tool, or maybe they've never picked up a paintbrush or ever tried to draw, but they are interested in using art that way? What would you tell them, and how they could use art, and maybe even an example of an exercise they could do to begin that process?
Yeah, it's just a great experience. When I started, I didn't know anything about art. I just kind of like followed different people on YouTube. It's a lot of free classes out there, a lot of free tutorials, and they have beginner tutorials that help you be creative. You could just start drawing, doodling is a good way to get started in art. Abstract is a good way to get started because you don't have to really think of the end product. You just kind of like go with the flow and create.
And do you also offer any classes or any type of support if anybody wants to work with you in doing that?
I'm open for like one-on-one or small group sessions. Don't consider myself a teacher. So I really would like people to just come with, just an open creative mind, or you could just bring a project that you would like to do, something maybe you saw Pinterest, and we could work on it together. I did do sip and paints for a while. I guess I'm still up to doing that, but they got a little complicated.
Mm.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind hosting one-on-one sessions or small group sessions for people.
And what about journaling? I think I heard there's like a visionary journal
Yes,
class.
I have a visionary journal class, and we do that online. We do it once a month. And what I do is we create a whole book. So it's just like a monthly vision board that somebody would do, but I put it in a book. And so at the beginning of the new moon is when we usually have our class. And we go by the new moon because that is when like the moon is empty. So it's like a full empty bowl. And then you set your intentions by making your vision board. And then on the full moon, we revisit it. And that's like when your bowl is full. So all the things that you hoped for, you set intentions on would maybe be in that session. And then it's a whole book. So at the end of the year, you have a book. You do like spread every month. And at the end of the year, you have the whole book to look back on and see the things that you called into yourself or things that you wanted to happen, and you can see how many of those things actually came.
Awesome. So quick question, how can our viewers, anyone that's watching this, how can we purchase any of your items?
Okay, so I always post on Facebook. You could always look Facebook under Valerie Rich. You can find artwork on Instagram under Paint Imagery. And you can also buy prints, canvases through fineartsamerica.com. And they have a whole list of things you can buy: bags, phone covers. You can get any piece of my art made into something else.
And last question, I see you have some beautiful artwork behind you. Did you create that yourself?
Yes, the piece behind me is a memorial piece that I made for my son, who passed away in 2020. And he was into music and rap. So it has like his name. It has different song lyrics added into it. His stage name was Kid. And it actually has like a letter that I wrote to him underneath of the whole painting. And so I would like to also take on a little tour of my actual art room where I do art, if I can figure out how to turn the camera around, or maybe just kidding.
Yeah, that's actually, while you take us there, that's actually a really great follow-up to our guest on Tuesday about processing grief, and being able to find beauty. And in this case, you can create beauty with your grief and remembering those that we've lost tragically, or even, for whatever the reason, making art to honor their memory is a beautiful project that we can do to help process our grief. I love that.
Right. And so here's a little tour of the space that I use now to create this in my home. Do you see it?
Yes, it's beautiful. Okay.
And this is all artwork you've done yourself?
Yeah. And this is like my word of the year. I choose a word every year, and that's what I use for the whole year. That's one of those. This piece is in a magazine called Hope Works. This is one that I've done of my son. And this is my word of the year for this year, authentic. And so this is where I stay and create different stuff.
Is having a special space for your art important for the process for you?
Yes, it is. Because then I can't figure out. Yes, so it's you don't have distractions.
And that's something I really love, is that you have a dedicated art space. So to our viewers out there, if you cannot make a dedicated space to be creative, it's okay. But you don't even have to have a lot of space, in your home or wherever you stay to have a creative space. When the weather's nice, you can just pick up your favorite spot and you can do artwork there. And you don't have to limit yourself to, just painting. You can have different mediums of creativity. You can do painting, you can do drawing, you can build things, work with your hands, pottery, just taking random materials and making artwork. It's all about what you choose to express yourself. And when you do that with no judgment to yourself, because I know we're really hard on ourselves, when you just do that and just let your creativity flow, I'm telling you, it is so therapeutic, and you can really work through some things that's gone on in your life, in the past, anything that you're feeling. Artwork is such a great avenue to do so. And that's what our guest today, Miss Valerie, has done. And first of all, I'm in awe of your workspace. I wish I had like a little art room that I could do all that in. It's very nice. Very, very nice. Let's see, Miss Val, that wasn't that bad, was it? No.
It wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't at all. But I just want to thank you so much for coming on the broadcast with us today and really sharing yourself. Because, when you're sharing artwork and something that you've created, that's one of the most intimate ways that you can share yourself with someone or with the world. So I really do appreciate you doing that with us today. And I know you've inspired myself. I know you've inspired, Selenia and many others who are going to watch this to just be free to create. And guys, you don't even have to draw or do something. You can write a poem. If poetry is your thing, or you just want to write down your thoughts, you want to write a song, It doesn't have to make sense. You just start and then your creativity will flow. And I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. It's been great.
You're very welcome. And for all who are listening, if you want to connect with her on the Visionary Journal group or to ask her about her art or work with her one-on-one, she is tagged on the post. So you'll be able to connect with her there, send her a message, and then we will definitely make sure to add the Instagram page that she mentioned in the comments as well. So we can continue this work and continue to be inspired by each other. Yeah. And to work out whatever it is you need to work out through art.
Yes. I'm telling you, don't knock it till you try it. And don't you dare say, I don't hear any reviewers say, oh, I'm not creative, I can't do it. You don't know what you can do till you try. I'm telling you, some of the best artwork comes from just random creativity. Just, you know what? I think I'm just going to do something. Be spontaneous, try something new. You're going to love it. So on that note, I'm going to close. Oh, before I close though, please go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, especially this broadcast here today, so that people can just be encouraged to express themselves through creativity, through artwork, get some of that pain out, happiness, joy, rage, any emotion that you feel. I'm telling you, artwork will help. And on that note, I will see all of you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful Friday and a great beginning of your weekend. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.